Good to get a win. You know, it wasn't easy. You got to give North Texas a lot of credit. I thought they really played hard in the first half and really the whole game. I think we finally wore their defense down a little bit in the second half, and you know, and things got a little bit easier for us when that happened. But got to give them credit. They played really hard. They did a good job. You know, Phil Bennett has done a great job there as a D coordinator. You know, SS teams are always going to play hard and have a good scheme on offense and really get after it defensively. So I thought they did a good job. You know, and really had us frustrated the first half. You know, you go back and you look, turned the ball over 3 times in the first half. You know, did some things that were pretty uncharacteristic for us. You know, quarterback turned the ball over a couple of times tonight. You know, the miscommunication down after we got the interception and turned it right back down to them on the goal line. It was a communication error, and then Tanner fumbled late in the game, and you just can't do that. I mean, we've got to take better care of the football in those situations, and you know, that's good for him to make those mistakes and still be able to get a win. It's not very often you turn the ball over 4 times and win a football game, and we did that tonight, and we're very fortunate to win.
Yeah, kind of on that note, this was the lowest point total you guys have allowed to an FBS team since you got here. You know, the defense really, you know, they give yards, but it definitely seemed to, especially in the first half, that they kept you guys in it for a while.
Yeah, I mean, look, I told the team afterwards, you know, defensively, that they won the game for us. So, I mean, you know, we couldn't get out of our own way on offense the first half, and the defense just held them to 6 points. And we gave, the offense gave them short fields, and defense never blinked. You got to give Coach Levitt, his coaching staff, and those players just a ton of credit. You know, North Texas is a good offensive football team. They're going to score points. They can move the ball. They got good backs, you know, good skill players. I thought the quarterback played well, gave him a chance to win. They do a really good job, and for us to hold them to 12 the way that we did, they ran 96 plays. You know, to let an opposing team run 96 plays and give up 12 points, I think it's a real credit to the way we played defensively. And the thing I was pleased with, I think we played as hard on the last snap of the game as we did on the first. You know, I thought they played really hard, tough, hard-nosed defense all the way through. And they were able to do it because, you know, we played a lot of guys. We rotated a lot of players. You know, there were guys constantly running in and off. And, you know, and I think that was a big advantage for us, being able to play a lot of defensive players. Because, you know, if our starters had to go 96 plays, it probably would have been a different outcome.
You mentioned wearing them down in the second half. Was it simply a matter of execution and maybe some fatigue on their side, or did you and your staff make any tactical changes at halftime?
Not really. I mean, I think it was more execution. You know, we still, you know, obviously we dropped a touchdown in the second half as well. You know, we just didn't catch the ball particularly well. We dropped passes at the wide receiver position. You know, again, go back and look at the first half. We had 3 turnovers and 2 critical drops on 3rd down. Same thing, we had an opportunity to kind of put the game away. Had a 4th down, we went for it, got somebody wide open, and you know, Danny dropped the ball, and it's just, we can't do that. You know what I mean? We can't do those kind of things and expect to win football games. So we were very fortunate tonight that things went the way they did. And again, it all begins with our defense and the way those guys played. But, you know, to play 96 plays as well as they did, again, it's a credit to those guys.
You mentioned frustration with the offense in the first half as well as those turnovers. How much of a consideration was there to maybe make a quarterback change just to inspire some, you know, new momentum or life on energy?
Not much of one. I mean, I think, you know, some of the stuff, you know, that's the problem that we don't want to get into. We don't want to get into a deal where, you know, we're trying to grow our quarterbacks, you know what I mean? And we're trying to get Tanner some good things, which happened last week, and some bad things, many of which happened tonight, and just see how he recovers and how he bounces back. And so, you know, I don't think that was ever really much of a consideration. I think it was just more of he's got to settle in, he's got to take care of the ball, and just do his job and communicate. And, you know, and I think he wasn't the only one. Like I said, we had some receivers drop balls that he could have bailed him out, and we just, you know, weren't bailing each other out. And so that's typically what we've been able to do offensively around here, is to do that. And, you know, and go out and execute well enough where you can move the ball consistently. The thing we did tonight, we made some big plays. You know, when our receivers caught the ball on the back end, they were able to make some plays. Obviously, Ulysses had that big run. He was able to make that big run and that play, and we just, you know, we just couldn't get out of our own way most of the night. I mean, it just wasn't what we need, and wasn't what we need to have to be the kind of football team we want to be.
What's been the big key for the defense playing as hard as they have the first 2 weeks? I mean, it's a new scheme, there's probably
Yeah,
still learning.
I mean,
Playing
I
hard.
think we have better players. I think we have more depth. And I think we've got a new mindset and a really good defensive coaches. I really think that the combination of all those things, I mean, I think Jim Levitt's, again, check his record. He's one of the best defensive coaches in college football. I mean, he has been for a long time. I think it's pretty clear that he is right now. And so, Jim's really good at what he does. Our players really respond well to what Jim does. They like playing for him. They're playing with a sense of purpose. They're playing very hard. I think they have a very clear understanding of our scheme, and they're playing faster as a result. And the big thing is, like I said earlier, we're rolling guys constantly. It just allows us to play, play harder and play fresher and not get worn down as much.
When you talk about how well the defense played while the offense was, to use your words, trying to get out of its own way, how much of a lift do you get when you shut down the opponent on all 4 fourth downs?
Well, I mean, look, that's the difference in the ball game, really. I mean, you go look at those plays right there on 4th down. If we don't make those, it's a whole, we're having a different conversation. And so, consistently we were able to get off the field on 4th down. We got off the field a lot on 3rd down. I think we were there were 4 of 16 or 18 on 3rd down, so we did a good job on 3rd down as well. We just played good defense. The guys were around the ball. North Texas backs are good. We missed some tackles tonight that we don't need to miss, but overall, like I said, I thought our performance, I was very impressed.
Your defense performance tonight came, without much of a finishing pass rush. You guys had 2 sacks. Is that encouraging because you see that's something that you can?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, too, just kind of the way the game was, we didn't pressure probably as much as we typically do to create a little bit more pressure on the quarterback or more sacks. But, you know how it is. I mean, if you don't have a pass rush, you're going to have problems. And so we've got to continue to generate that. We need to be able to rush, 4 people and get pressure without having to blitz. And there were times we did it tonight. Times we didn't necessarily sack the quarterback, but certainly affected him. We did that quite a bit, but we have to continue to be able to rush, when we're rushing 3 and 4 guys.
Anything else?
Just given that everything that's happened in the Big 12 this week, what do you think? What do you kind of make of this performance in that context, or have you really thought at all about it?
Yeah, I don't worry about that. I mean, I think, we'll look back at the end of the year and somebody will look at our record and go, yeah, we think they're good or we think they stink or whatever. And I can't worry about that. You know what I mean? I think we just got to do the best we can. And I think we all realize we have some momentum going right now in our program. I think we all realize, too, that we're certainly haven't arrived by any stretch of the imagination. I think that was pretty clear tonight. But we're getting better. We're playing hard. We're learning how to play championship-level defense that you have to play. If you want to be a real college football team, you got to play defense. And so we're learning those things, and we're progressing, and we're getting there. We just got to, we have to play more even. I would like to see our offense play to the level that our defense played at tonight, and we certainly probably feel different right now. But like I said at the beginning, anytime you can win by 22, 23, whatever we won by 23, that's hard to do, man. I mean, it just is. I mean, just look around college football today. Look at the upsets and the close games, and teams that you think are a lot better than others really had a hard time tonight. And so we were able to win. We were able to win by a bigger margin than probably we actually should have won by. And I think we're smart enough to realize that and figure out ways to improve. But as far as auditioning for somebody else, you know how it is. They're going to look at the final result anyway. And all we can do is all we can do. And, and that's just keep playing hard and giving ourselves a chance to win football games.